tonight. A lot of last year's winners. We got the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears. Boy, it looks like White Team 99 up in this bitch. Britney Spears got her new album out, her new song. Oops, I did it again. Oops, she did it again. She did it again, y'all. What the did you do the first time? What else is up? We got Eve here. Oh, my bad. That's Cisco. We got a little bit of Destiny's Child here tonight. That's right. Got the new hit song. Say my name, say my name. What name? Every time I learn the name, you kick the out the group. I say your name. How about temporary? We got a lot of rappers here. That's right. Jay-Z, Jigga, the Jigga Man, Jigga what? Jigga who? Jigga in the club, that's who. And how could you mention rap without talking about my man P. Diddy? P. Diddy, Sean John, Sean Puppy Cone. Got in a little bit of trouble this year, huh, Pup? Got in some trouble. Went out and hired Johnny Cochran. Actually, you didn't hire Johnny Cochran, you just sampled OJ's defense team. That's right. Speaking of OJ, OJ's in the news again, trying to make a comeback, promote his new website. OJ with a website? What the is going on? And you know the address? www.//youaintdeadyet.com. Thank you very much. Oh no, puppy, not. Oh no, Britney Spears. Kick me one more time. Oh, just put that big ass. Oh my God, I can't take all that. Backstreet Boys. It's about time you had another name. Go to hell. Go to hell.
This is a Silk exclusive.
Welcome to another episode of Words, Music, Dance. I'm your host as always, Paulie the Bull, no relation to Gravano. Today we got a big group here because something we all got to talk about, something everybody been talking about, so we're gonna talk about it. I'll go in order who came in. We got Lewis, we got Tiffany, we got Stephanie, we got Jarrell. We may or may not have a couple more people pop in and out, but shout out to everybody listening, shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you. And we just gonna get right to it because it makes no sense to waste any time to talk about what we need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? The Oscars, happened this past Sunday. And a big event that everybody can't stop talking about long, it's crazy, unexpected, didn't see it coming. But finally, Samuel L. Jackson won his first Oscar. That's what we need to talk about. Samuel L. Jackson finally won his first Oscar of all time.
The honorary joint, yeah, good job. Dude.
But seriously, in the words of Chris Rock,
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
And that's really what we're gonna talk about.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
Because I know myself, I wasn't watching the Oscars. I don't know if y'all were like tuned in live.
No.
Anybody was? Stephanie was
Until
watching
that
it?
happened. Not
I
until
did,
that
yeah.
happened.
No doubt, no doubt. So we can start with you, Steph, since you saw it live and you know, as it was happening, what was your first your reaction to that moment, the slap heard around the world?
You know, it's funny because I think like we're so desensitized to violence, but I have never seen anything like this happen on live television with people like that. I personally have never. So it was shocking, and it was almost like a moment like, what was up with that? Like, and for real, was it staged or not? Personally, I don't think it was, because I just don't. I don't. I think the shock on Chris Rock's face said it all, because, like, yeah, Will could be an actor, but Chris Rock, kind of an actor, more so a comedian. So, you know, I don't know. It was shocking. That was my opinion on first seeing it. It was shocking. And then hearing the acceptance speech from Will and seeing that live, his speech was touching, like very touching. And he tied a lot of things together.
Oh, man. Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. In this time in my life, in this moment, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world. Making this film, I got to protect Ingenue Ellis, who was one of the strongest, most delicate people I've ever met. I got to protect Sanaya and Demi, the two actresses that played Venus and Serena. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. Now, I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. But Richard Williams, and what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you. It's like, I want to be a vessel for love. I want to say thank you to Venus and Serena. I just spit. I hope they didn't see that on TV. I want to say thank you to Venus and Serena and the entire Williams family for entrusting me with your story. That's what I want to do. I want to be an ambassador of that kind of love and care and concern. I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. This is a beautiful moment, and I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine light on all of the people, Tim and Trevor and Zach and Sanaya and Demi and Ingenue and the entire cast and crew of King Richard and Venus and Serena, the entire Williams family. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things. To my mother, a lot of this moment is really complicated for me, but to my mother, she didn't want to come out. She had her knitting friends. She has a knitting crew that she's in Philly watching with. Being able to love and care for my mother and my family, my wife. I'm taking up too much time. Thank you for this honor. Thank you for this moment, and thank you on behalf of Richard and Oracene, the entire Williams family. Thank you. Hope the Academy invites me back. Thank you.
I do have a lot of thoughts, so I don't want to go too deep into it right this second, but he did what he needed to do for acting the way he did. I think he damaged control as much as he could in the moment, and then, and then he came out with the apology. So I think this was a very fast-moving story. I mean, we went from beginning to end in 24 hours. So
Absolutely.
And I just think my general thing is comedy, and Will Smith started as a comedian too. So I think it's kind of like a weird dynamic that Will Smith would slap a comedian for a joke, regardless of the nature, because there's a lot of sensitive things in nature that people talk about. But like I said, we'll get into that later, but that's my general feel.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And yeah, we're definitely gonna touch more on a couple of things that you brought up and stuff. But yeah, definitely the initial reaction, and like you said, right before we started recording, Will Smith put an apology on Instagram. He posted the apology out. I don't need to read it. He said basically what he needed to say. He apologized specifically to Chris Rock. He apologized to the Academy, which he also did during his acceptance speech. So like you said, he said what he needed to say. It came out right before we started recording, but that ain't gonna stop the show. We still got some things to talk about. We still got some jokes to get off and some serious matters to talk about. So we're gonna give you a little bit of both of that. We're gonna give you a little bit of both of that. Rel, when did you find out, and what hit you first? How did you get the info about what was going on?
I forgot what I was watching. I definitely wasn't watching that. But I can't remember, even though it was just last night. But
the memes took over your brain, right?
Yeah. So I'm watching whatever I'm watching, and then I started seeing like my Instagram stories going crazy and Facebook, and I'm like, what? So then I came across the video, and just like Steph, I'm like, wow, these dudes is like they doing the whole comedy bit like for the joint, and then but what made me know a couple of things made me think, like, nah, they dead ass. Is when one, Chris Rock's reaction to it all was like, okay, like that looks like that's not staged. Secondly, the audio afterwards, I think if he was I think if Will Smith was playing, he wouldn't have been cursing like that, so like I'm just like, yeah, something is definitely up here. So like it was a bit shocking. Like, I mean, like I've seen like violence on TV before, but not like a high profile, like the Oscars and everybody's mid-tuxes and like that I never saw. So that was a little shock. I wasn't overly shocked, but I just was like, wow, like he really like like in the moment, like not like just got up immediately and went and handled the business that he felt he needed to. So yeah, it was interesting.
Tiff, how did it come across you? How did you find out about it, and what was your reaction?
So, okay. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't surprised. I found out about it on Facebook. Somebody was like, "Did Chris Rock just get slapped by Will on live TV?" I'm like, hold up. So my nosy ass went to Twitter, of course. I seen two videos. I seen the first one before just Will walking in on stage and then walking up to him and slapping him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I need a little bit more backstory. So then that's when I seen the whole G.I. Jane clip, whatever. The smack didn't surprise me. And I'm gonna tell you why, because people forget Will has done some things on the red carpet.
Oh my God! Come on, man. What the hell is your problem, buddy? All right. Hey, sorry. You said kiss me in my mouth. You joking? You lucky I ain't sucker punching. Oh, sorry. I said that on camera. Yeah, no, it's all good.
I will.
Hey.
Yeah, so
we'll give him
a
little back.
We're
gonna talk about his slaps, but he gave him a little.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wasn't too shocked to think like, okay, so he walks up and smacked Chris Rock. But the whole setup just seemed awkward to me. Because like when he made the joke about it, you see it was on Will. Will was laughing. And then you see Jada's face kind of like, I don't want to hear this, right? And then it's just like, okay, so they didn't really keep it on them to kind of see, well, did he see his wife's reaction that she felt some type of way? And then he realized like, look, she's been dealing with this situation of, having alopecia. She spoke about it. Here's the thing. People want to pay attention to what they want to pay attention to, right? So maybe she brought it up. Like, who's really going to pay attention to that? They'll pay attention to her cheating scandal versus her not, her having hair loss. So,
right.
I mean, he probably just saw a bald head. Most women of color do wear bald heads beautifully. You know what I mean? So I don't think he meant nothing by it. It was just probably a tasteless joke.
Yeah.
But I think Will's reaction wasn't just for Chris Rock. I think he's been over it for months. Between him making fun of him, his family, years at that. But I mean, especially since the Red Table Talk, the August Alsina, like people coming at him like, oh, he should have came for August. I'm like, we'll talk more on that later. But,
right.
You know what I mean? In the end, I just don't think that slap was just for Chris alone. I think it was him making a stance like, listen,
I'm done.
That was him yelling to everybody, I'm keep my wife's name out your mouth. You know what I mean? That was kind of to the world, not let alone him.
Yeah.
But because I didn't even realize that this was his first Oscar win, I feel like it took away from that moment for him. Like they're not gonna remember, he won an Oscar that night. They're gonna remember him getting on stage like this was a Little Mama and Jay-Z moment. You know what I mean? They're gonna remember him after that. Like
now you brought up the alopecia, which was the reason why obviously Jada didn't. You know what I'm saying? Quick question: when did y'all find out that she had alopecia?
Yesterday.
Last night.
Yeah, probably this morning.
When did you know, Lou?
For a while, at least 2-3 years now.
Okay. Tip?
Yeah, I've known some time.
So I just found out as well.
I know she had issues with her hair. I just didn't know it was, I'm not, that area for me is, I don't know too much, but I know she, that's why the short haircut always worked for her because of whatever she was going through with the hair loss. And that's what I was
going to say because from what I just found out, either it was 2018 or 2019 is when she announced it.
Yeah.
So she's been doing the short hair before that. So it was like, one with the pandemic and all that we've been going through since then, it kind of got under the radar too. They've made news for numerous other things since then as well. So like you said, people pay attention to what they're going to pay attention to, but there's also things, like you said, also with him winning this award, the headline is going to be the slap, not just the award. So it's also what is, when you think of Jada, you don't think of, she's not an alopecia advocate. she's not standing
Right.
for it or doing, you know what I'm saying? But we know on the red tables, she talk about their romance, their love lives, and you know, entanglements and so on and so forth. He writing books about it. You don't. So they've overshadowed that story itself too. And
Right.
I'm not defending Chris, but none of us really knew. You know what I mean? And but
Yeah.
again, jokes are jokes. We're gonna come back to the Joker stuff too. But I want to finish off with the initial question was, Lou, when did you find? Well, when did you find out and how you found out?
Shout out to our group
Where
chat.
were you?
Shout out to our group chat because my old ass was sleeping by like 9:30. Fucking despicable. I woke up to like 60 plus messages. Like, what the fuck did I get? Shout out to my son because my son asked me before I go to bed, "You not watching the Oscars?" And I was like, "Oscars is whack. Dad, this is why I don't bet. I never fucking win." Like, okay. But I found out through our group chat, and it was one of those, oh shit, let me hop on Twitter, let me hop on the gram. Let me see what happened on Facebook. And it was rapid catch up for me. And my first initial thought was like, as a human being, everybody got that straw that breaks the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if you're famous, no matter if you're rich, everybody got a straw that's gonna finally break that back. And that was it. You know, that was it. I think it was a point where, all right, you're no longer going after the entanglement or the relationship. Now you're really attacking my wife. Like now you looking for a joke. And I was shocked that Will actually did it. You know, like Tip said, you see his reaction, like he laughed a little. And my first take was like, all right, he joked it off. But when I seen him walk on stage, like maybe it was like, ha ha, this motherfucker gonna get it now. Like one of those laughs. And listen, again, it was one of those situations where he reacted emotionally, and he's a human being at the end of the day. Regardless if he's an actor and he's held to a higher standard, everyone's a human being, and that was his initial reaction. Like, I'm gonna make an example out of somebody. At some point, your professional career, your personal life, you make an example out of anybody. Even as a parent, you gotta make an example. Like, you have those moments. That was
anybody can get it.
Right. That was his moment to tell the world, all right, listen, I don't had enough of this. Stop going after my wife. Stop going after my family. Like, everybody gonna get slapped going forward. It sucks that it happened in an Oscar night. Like, fuck. It sucks that he won. Damn, that's another strike. Had it been the Grammy, all right, cool. Anybody give a shit about the Grammy. You win that, you move on. But this is Hollywood's biggest stage. Like, and the Oscars has always been that show that's never ever wanted any bad press. Never. They're the darling, the golden child of, award shows. We ain't the Grammys, we ain't the BET Awards, we ain't the VMAs, we the Oscars. So I think they held themselves to higher standards. Shout out to the guy holding the mute button down. I mean, he was a little late, but
oh no, they was nervous. They was hitting all buttons. It was at one point it froze, and then there was no audio. Then it came back, and you had delayed audio. Like, they was just hitting buttons. They was just like
It was like Tetris and shit. Like, they couldn't figure out what the hell was going on.
But funny you bring up the Oscars want to be the gold standard and be we're in a distinguished award show and stuff. How do you feel about them always getting edgy comedians to host the show? Because Chris Rock is one of the people that probably, I'm not 100% sure, but either hosted it the most or at least the most in recent years because of his edgy comedy. And even when he doesn't host, he's presenting for that reason.
I don't think it's because of his edgy comedy. I think it's because of his safe, family-friendly comedy, actually.
Then you must not have seen him host some other shows, because he's always been edgy.
He definitely been on, I think the last Oscars or Grammys he did, he definitely went on a couple people. And in all honesty, that's why these award shows even get these comedians, because they know where they coming from. They know they're gonna roast. 9 times out of 10, they roasting at least 4 to 5, maybe 6 actors and actresses. Whatever scandal that went on that year, guess what? It's gonna be either Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, any of these black famous stand-up comedians, all-star comedians. They're gonna crack on you. And in all honesty, you take the roast. They may be smiling on that camera, but in the back of their mind, like, this motherfucker right here. They basically eating it, and they put the camera in your face, and you got to laugh it up. But in all honesty, I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I found out, I ain't gonna lie, I had to watch it 5 times. I thought it was fake 3 times.
Right.
And then to prove to when I actually saw, because I did the same thing like Lou did. Yo, I went on the gram real quick because you got to make sure it's real. You gotta go on the gram. Everybody
the
on
gram will tell you if it's real.
Exactly. The gram is gonna tell you the truth. I saw the unedited version. Yes, when he did yell out, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm like, you know what? First of all, I'm a huge Chris Rock fan. So in all honesty, yo, love him, love his work. But you can't tell nobody how to react. Yes, the human component. Yo, actors and superstars, y'all be forgetting they just normal human beings, just with a title on it.
Right.
So in all honesty, yeah. And in all honesty, they said, "Oh, Chris Rock is from Brooklyn." What that mean? Just because he's from Brooklyn, he held himself in a manner where, you know what, bro, I'm gonna see you later.
Right. I know 10 hippies from Brooklyn that wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight.
But in all honesty, yo, these award shows, they know what they're doing. And 9 times out of 10, yo, you could do an award show even when they do hip hop awards. Guess what? Thugs are sensitive as hell. So keep trying to play that role, bro. And the old Snoop Dogg would have definitely nucked while he bucked real quick. Or Dr. Dre, or Suge Knight.
To your point, Paul, I think they hire these comedians that are edgy, that are colored, that are black, because they check a box. I'm feeling that need. Plus, what are the odds that somebody in the crowd is going to really take offense to somebody of color coming at them? Like, it'd be different. Had it been a white guy, everyone would have stopped in their tracks. Like,
recently, one of the biggest ones that hosted and that pushed that limit was Ricky Gervais.
Hello and welcome to the 77th Annual Golden Globe Awards, live from the Beverly Hilton Hotel here in Los Angeles. I'm Ricky Gervais, thank you. You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking, I never did. Let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel. I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no, shush. It's her daughter I feel sorry for, okay? That must be the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her. And her dad was in Wild Hogs. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to the cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. The Irishman was amazing. Long, but amazing. It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So... Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So we were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. It just, no. Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show, a superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent. If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and... So... It's already 3 hours long.
And he came out like, like he was going in, and they were sitting like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because either they were sitting next to somebody, or like Weinstein at that point was just getting outed, and you know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, you're friends with so and so, you just did a movie by so and so. So he kind of went in. So, and Ricky Gervais is, I think, British or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
he kind of went in on that. And one of the most recent ones too was I think it was 2016. Chris Rock hosted, and he called out Jada for wanting to boycott the Oscars. Notice too was some people called him out hypocrisy for I believe Will was up for the concussion movie. The concussion
he didn't get nominated, right?
And he didn't even get nominated, and it was like no black nominees through the whole thing. And people calling out the hypocrisy of now that he got nominated. Now it's like, forget all that. We in here front row. Let's rock. I love the Oscars. Let's go. I've been waiting for this. We here. But before it was nah. I don't want to be here. And what has changed from 2016 to 2020 other than you're nominated now?
And the sex scandal he didn't throw out there. And the party the after party they had after he smacked them up. Like there was that's why I still thought it was fake. It's like, yo, you have a whole party, bro? Stop.
Well, they always do the post parties and stuff. But Steph, you want to say something? You had your hand up?
What has also changed over the years is comedy and cancel culture and the way people take things and the way people perceive things. And something I really feel on my heart, like on that type of shit, is like growing up, I saw G.I. Jane in like 1993 or whatever it came out. She was a bad bitch. Like she was a strong woman going to the military, fighting odds.
I believe it's based on a true
and
story.
In the words, like, yo, dead ass, in the words of Chris Brown, over G.I. Jane joke, like, damn, like, are you kidding me? And I understand the sensitivities. But I think so many limits have been pushed before by so many people. I mean, you see like how hard people are going for Dave Chappelle.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm Team Dave too. Like that's just how I am because I grew up watching Freak with John Leguizamo. I grew up watching Eddie Murphy. I grew up watching Chris Rock.
Finny trying to get the sympathy. I mean,
you know, but I grew up.
Nah, I gotta hold her while she don't wild out. That's why.
Oh, okay, that's smart.
She said she was over that smack too, bro. She agreed. She agreed with old girl. She's like G.I. Jane first and foremost. I honestly thought that would have been a compliment for a black woman to play G.I. Jane Part 2, right, baby? All right. I'm sorry. Continue. I apologize.
Finish your point, Steph.
Nah. But like, I was just like, you know, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I agree. Like I said, I believe G.I. Jane was based on a true story about a woman who was like one of the first, like either Navy SEALs, something like that went in there, did, you know, passed the test, did all the hard work with the men. So that, you know, brings to like the next thing, like, well, you actually, you know, brought it up, Steph, like the sensitivity of the joke or, you know, how it's perceived. Because, you know, long story short, obviously Jada and Will have the right to be mad at the joke or not like the joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sure. It wasn't even that great of a joke. You know, even Chris was like, yeah, I went light. Like, I love y'all. I'm trying to just include y'all. And you brought up Dave Chappelle, and his point is inclusion in the jokes. You know what I'm saying? Whether somebody's transgender, whether somebody has alopecia, whether they got halitosis, you know, whatever they got. I don't just pass over them like I'm a roast you.
Yeah,
no, not you. I feel bad for you. I'm a roast you though. Or do I just say, hey, welcome? You're one of us. You get these roasts too. So you know that's like you said, the cancel culture and the sensitivity now.
And
everybody, it's like
that would be
you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
That would be.
I just wanted to add that my fault. It's like agreeing with what you're saying. Like even when I saw him get hit, I'm like, yo, this is what comedians have to face now. Like, where do we go from loving comedians to now is like, we got to watch what they say or they got to worry about getting smacked up? I mean, I understand you can't control how people react, but all in all, like, come on, man. You could have done better than that. And you guys are right. That joke was really light. It wasn't that serious. I get it. She don't got her hair.
Damn near, look at you, bad bitch. Like, really?
That's one way to take it.
It definitely wasn't a compliment. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, I don't think it was a compliment, but
I think it was because he didn't call her Amber Rose. he called the G.I. Jane. So I feel like you're an
Amber
actress,
Rose
the
would've been
G.I.
hilarious.
Jane role part 2.
Yeah,
I think
but,
it's more
but we all know
compliment.
what she had to do with the big scene that was the trailer of her shaving her head.
Right.
You know,
But it wasn't
was-
Britney Spears. So again, it could have been Britney Spears shaving her head. It could have been Amber Rose. He didn't pick a bad
Yo.
person to relate to. He picked a good person to relate to. So,
Right.
but it's perception.
but
Again,
see,
it's perception.
and then see too, it all depends on too whether he even knew. Like we all talking about. We found out outside of
Exactly.
T and Lewis that he knew going
Right.
in that he had this condition. Like if even let's say he did, it goes back to what Finney was saying. Like what's out of bounds? Like who
Right.
can't get it? You know what I'm saying? Like it was. Like for me, like it was a joke. I mean, but I definitely do understand how somebody going through that condition would find zero humor in that, and how their husband, after seeing how they found zero humor in that,
Well, he laughed at first.
That's what I mean.
He did.
And that's what I mean, because when they put the camera on him, like he was chuckling, and she never laughed. Like he laughed, she never laughed, and they took the camera off them. At some point in there, he had to take a glance and was like,
he said,
"She not, nah, yeah." Before,
I'm gonna go.
Once she start entangling again, let me
Right.
get up there and do something, because I'm not. I don't. That's the smoke on the stage. I'm down with. I ain't down with this one. So let me go handle.
But that
he definitely could have spoken to him after the stage and all that too.
He could have.
Yeah,
he could have. But the thing it makes me think, right? Because with the world being so sensitive the way it is, like you can't really. Freedom of speech is getting knocked too much now. But it's like, what happens? They get these type of people to host these shows. You're sitting there, you're targeted. Like that's just what it is. When
fair game.
Comedy shows, like, is this gonna change now? Like you gotta sign something, like you don't want to be talked about, or like you know what I mean? Like it's just, I feel like it's just getting out of hand. And like I said, I don't think that slap was solely for Chris Rock. You know what I mean? Like,
that was for the whole world.
Before we dig deeper, have any of you guys ever been to like live comedy shows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat in the front?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Yo, let me tell you something right now, yo. I was in the front row and I saw old boy getting ready. I was like, oh, he lining everybody up. And I was right there. He saw me and I was like, all right, look, I'm funny. It's about to be tested because I don't know if I'm that funny. And he saw me. He gave me, you know what? He hit me with the Chris Rock and he spared me with a light joke, and it was cool. But hey, I'm down for it though. But I know how comedians, if you watch enough comedy shows, yo, if you go in the front, this is gonna happen. You choose to be in the front and you choose to get heckled. I mean, you choose to get joked on, but guess what? All in all, it's all fair game. You can send in the back. And it's really a good time, but you can't control how everybody reacts at the same time. But I still like it though.
Now another question, sticking with the comedy aspect of it. Steph, you said you watched it live. Did anybody else watch it live? No, right?
Nope. Hell no.
All right. As I was looking through clips and getting some more content for this episode, I saw Regina Hall was one of the hosts, and she did like a little skit where she.
Well, I've come with a bit of bad news. As you know, everyone here has been tested for COVID, but unfortunately, some of the test results have gotten lost. So before we go on with the show, we just have to do some quick emergency testing backstage. Don't worry, it's only a few people, it's totally random. So when I call your name, I'm just gonna need you to come with me. Now, I've got a list here, which I'm looking at, I have memorized, but if you hear your name, I'm gonna start with Bradley Cooper, Timothy Chalamet, Tyler Perry, Simu Liu, and wait, Javier Bardem. Oh, you're still with Penelope. You know what, actually, no. Your test is fine. It says that you're married. Negative. Will Smith, you're married, but you know what? You're on the list and looks like Jada approved you, so you get on up here. Get on up here.
y'all feel about that?
First and foremost, as a man with a girl, bro, anytime a woman makes that joke, you gotta be scared. You gotta be scared because you have no idea what's gonna happen next. She gonna key in front of you, but in her mind, she like, I wish you would get up right now.
But
it don't matter how nice you are.
What you say, Lou?
Though their situation is different because we all know they're in an open relationship. Like that's been already discussed, digressed, all that stuff. And we've seen the jokes already. You know, the only difference is August put their open relationship on blast.
On blast, right?
That's the only difference. So August opened the door for that joke to happen. I think Will deals with it because that comes with the territory. But it's a certain time like, all right, I'm done with this joke. I don't think that's much as serious as going after your wife personally. You know, it'd have been different. Like Michael J. Fox. If someone makes a Parkinson's joke, it's oh shit. You know, somebody makes a joke about a Back to the Future, it's no fucking big deal because it's that.
Right, but Parkinson's is deadly. Alopecia is hair loss, and I'm not
complaining to like that, but I'm saying
Steph is like, yo, get a wig.
That is literally how people are
somebody about to
rationalizing
go in these comments and come after her for that shit.
I'm glad she said it, not me though.
I tell you, your comments, man, is about to be crazy. They're gonna be like, yo, who's shorty with the glasses, bro?
Let me explain with my glasses off so you can look me in the eye.
Move the screws around.
Let me explain this because it's the truth. I had stress-induced alopecia in 2017, and I lost chunks of my hair. That's some real shit. And Jarrell, you was with me, and you knew that shit, what I was going through in 2017. I really went through some shit. So I have experienced that. I am a registered nurse, and I have so much sensibility, but people are acting like, all right, this is the thing, and this is like real talk. We have to take everything into consideration. There's a price to pay with transparency, and Jada Pinkett Smith is quick when it's on her record to be like, here I am, you know, or my man don't satisfy me all the way in bed, or or it was an entanglement while she humiliates the hell out of Will Smith.
Thank you.
But we draw the line at the G.I. Jane joke. That's where we draw the line. And this is the thing, and I want to really say this.
That G.I. Jane joke even hurt me.
I said a lot of my little credentials. I'm also an artist. And there is a deep pain to like seeing art go out the window because I am engaged. I write poetry, music, and a lot of my stuff has nothing to do with my life, my sensitivities. My fiance reads my stuff, is in my #1 fan. Like, and some of the stuff isn't a reflection of who I am in real life, but who I am in my art. Right. And so when it comes to comedy, like I said, all things considered, how transparent they are, how many times Jada, I could go so deep. Like how many times Jada has made a fool of him. No insensitivity towards alopecia or her transparency, because transparency, like Tiff said earlier, transparency can also be, it's a matter of perception. Transparency could look like asking for it, or it could look like really a lot of vulnerability.
Right.
To me, I think there's a lot to be said for mental health. Because everybody's saying there's always that straw that breaks the camel's back. And it should have been, I really do think, like Tiffany said, it was a smack to everybody. That straw that broke the camel's back could have been prevented had he had that conversation behind closed doors with his wife to stop embarrassing him, so that he didn't feel the need to defend her so outwardly, because she keeps putting herself and her relationship out there in the name of transparency and vulnerability, which is very, very honorable. But when you have transparency, you invite so much in. And I just don't think Will Smith is such an inspirational person. Like, in my opinion, he's such a big person, such an aspirational person. For him to have lost his cool like that over that on a stage like that, it was irresponsible. And I'm glad he came back on with the apology.
So let's go there. Let's go there since we already started it. Because we spoke about it obviously a couple episodes back. We had spoke about the situation that when Will wrote his book, some things that he brought out. You know what I'm saying? We delved into that. It was a testy couple of episodes, but I'm with it. It was all good. I like everybody's opinions on it. Everybody can voice their opinions. We got no problems with that. but we didn't think it would be so soon that we'd be coming back full circle because, again, like you guys alluded to, that slap wasn't just to slap Chris. You know what I mean? It was a lot of, pent up frustration of the last couple of years and and all the things that they've had to address. And a lot of people like to forget that they're the ones that kind of opened Pandora's box. You know what I mean? So again, we love Will and Jada. You know what I'm saying? They're one of the black power couples and success. The marriage works. You know what I'm saying? We can make jokes all day about the entanglements and their open. Listen, if they're married and it's working, then so be it. However, the question still has to come up, like, which even Will said, this was what she wanted.
She wanted, right? Yeah.
I really didn't agree to these types of, this type of a relationship. I wanted me and my wife. I didn't, when they was like, yo, we can be out and go about and get other chicks and stuff, he was like, all right, he tried it. And it was like, I can smash this one, I can smash it. But it was like, I want just her. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we really don't know what stress is on Will, and through it all, it gets swept under the rug.
And I think he's slowly spiraling.
Yeah.
Because if you've been noticing, like all these interviews he's doing, especially him leaving himself so vulnerable, like literally letting his wrist and being like, "This is my life, guys. This is indoor." And we don't even know what's really real with that, just for the sell or the look of what they got going on. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, we looked at them as couple goals, but once she sat at that table, when she started talking her little Baltimore ways and all that, and showing off her big energy, you know what I mean? Making it seem like she might be the one, hanging in this relationship as the big jock, you know what I mean? Versus Will, who always was like the goofball, but, people forget he's from Philly. So, you know what I mean? That tough guy got left a long time ago when he became the big clown.
But he's never been tough. So, Will got accepted to MIT. He's book smart.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
One thing people forget about Will.
You could be tough and get accepted.
You can be, but Will has always been book smart. People forget
but
raps. The rapper that he was a storyteller. He writes stories. When you look at Parents Just Don't Understand, and I think I Can Beat Mike Tyson, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and those songs that he made, there were stories. Even the theme song for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a story. West Philadelphia, born and raised. He's always been that dude. So he's never been that Philly kid that we think about.
As far as from what we see,
and let's be real.
For what we know,
he
was always book smart, even from back then.
If that's him, he's still getting on stage slapping people. Like, who? You know what I mean? Like,
but he's not punching people. Punch somebody. Stop slapping.
Let's be real.
Who's advocate? Devil's advocate, though, Paul.
Slapping with the pinky. Raise up.
That slap. It just punch him.
So Paul, playing devil's advocate, right?
Go ahead, Lou. Hold on, everybody. Go ahead, Lou.
He does nothing.
Hold on, Steph. Lou heard his
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So that joke gets said. Will laughs. Jada has a face and storms off. Nothing gets done. The first thing out of everyone's mouth is, Will should have smacked the shit out of that man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But everyone's wrong.
You know what? People might not have said
that is wrong.
People might not have said that he needs to. They probably have to say, he need to go see Chris.
Hold on.
I doubt they would have said he would need to get up on the stage and beat him.
Not on stage, but
yeah.
But when everyone says that, that's the wrong thing to do. So we got to admit as well that what Will did
is it the wrong thing to do?
It was assault. It is wrong. So we can make the jokes and all that about it, but at the end of the day, he assaulted Chris Rock on stage in front of millions. You know what I'm saying? So everyone can say whatever they're gonna say. Hey, at the end of the day, that's what happens anyway, because y'all put y'all stuff out there. So they're gonna talk whether he got up on stage or whether he didn't get up on stage. We was gonna be having a similar conversation. It's just it's heightened because of the hit.
That he's wrong. Who's to say that he's wrong?
The law,
right? And
I think so.
The law probably says the law is definitely saying that he's wrong. But you know what? Court of public opinion is exactly what you just said, though. Everyone else is gonna be like, yo, if it was any other man right now, I'm telling you right now, there wouldn't be a smack, it'd definitely be a punch. But the problem is that all that build up for 2-3 years now. We've been all cracking on him. And that's what I'm saying. You cannot tell no one how to react. If another man jokes, this is the real deal. If it wasn't a show and you are hanging out with your boys, you in a party, you're in an event. If somebody makes fun of your woman, if you don't have the proper tools to crack a joke right back, guess what? Your woman is disrespected. Now you got to go and step to old boy. Now let's keep it real. I know how I make jokes, right? Somebody makes fun of my girl, I'm either going to do two things. I'm either going to come to you and make fun of you and embarrass you in front of everybody, but that's not going to help the situation. You're going to feel like an idiot, and you want to
hitting him.
Me and put hands. Nobody really wins at that point. But the reality is, you basically have to either know, yo, I can either make fun of you or not. Will, like you said, Will's he's not a fighter. In his mind, yo, this is the funny thing. People actually thought he could have handled it how many different ways. Well, wait, he couldn't crack on Chris Rock because at the end of the day, Chris had the stage.
Right.
He could have spoke to him later. Guess what? He could have, at that moment, he just saw blood red. Because you know what?
Right.
Maybe Shorty, maybe his wife did walk off. But it wasn't the one joke was the last joke.
At the end of the
day,
day,
at the end of the day,
you tell Will how to react.
Right.
Only thing we can say is that it could have been a conversation they had, because like we alluded to in the beginning, we don't know if Chris knew that she had alopecia. So we don't know. I don't know their relationship. I don't know how, they were animals. They did voices in Madagascar, but I don't know if they kick it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know their relationship, but Will could have possibly spoke to Chris or something like that afterwards. Again, it sounds like the punk way to do it. But as a grown-ass man, sometimes you got to humble yourself and handle it in a different fashion, because physical, now he's at risk of the DA pressing charges, because Chris didn't press charges. He's at risk of California DA pressing charges. The Academy is thinking about taking away his award, which I don't agree with. But it can happen. There's a lot of things that can come from it that if he handled it a different way would not have happened. And like we said, at the end of the day, it took away from his moment completely anyway.
Definitely did.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas that could have been handled later on or what have you.
It's that.
And what if Chris Rock would have rocked him? What if he didn't take what if he didn't take that smack and just came out of nowhere and they both would have fought? It would have been crazy. It would have been mad messy. They'd have to block everything out.
Can I play devil's advocate real quick? Because everybody's saying what else could have happened. What would have been real dope and a dope thing between two comedians would have been when he won his Oscar to get up on stage and address his wife. Joke. You get what I'm saying? Like, he could have had the stage. Yes, Chris Rock had the stage.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes into when he went back on the stage and he accepted his award. He said, when you're in your highest moments, the devil comes after you.
Denzel told him that, yeah. Denzel definitely told him that one.
But that's the truth. And you know what? It is up to you to look. And, that was in my language. Like, that hit my soul. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I hear that. When you hear that, you have to have the discernment in a situation. Is it the person or is it the spirit that's attacking me? There was so much behind what was going on that he wasn't getting attacked by Chris Rock or any which one person. It was his demons of whatever's going on in his relationship, in his life, whatever that is. And I just truly do feel there is also something, and I'll even send this to you because I was talking to somebody, so I'll send this to you, Paul. But there's also, I said, when he got up there and he apologized to the Academy and everything like that, I said, it would have been nice if he would have put the demon of pride aside and just for his sake said sorry. And I will send this to you, said sorry to Chris Rock. But then I said, but patience is a virtue. And he came through a day later, whether it was his PR team or whatever. I don't think it was. I do feel like you could be like, oh, it's a weak apology at stage, whatever. All we have is what we have and what we see. So we could put all of our thoughts into it. But there's something to be said. I'm glad he came through with the apology, but you do have to sometimes take the high road. And I'm speaking that that's a lesson I've had to learn. You can't act on anger. That is succumbing to anger is not a strength. Yelling louder, being a person to throw a slap, it's not strength. And yeah, you might think it's defending your girl, but I'm a grown ass woman. If that was my man standing by my side, I would have said, you a fool. You embarrassed me. That's it, and that's really
Damn.
my feelings on it.
Damn, I like Ang a little bit.
I'm just saying, now we even.
The way,
Like
the
I
way,
said,
the
I
way
still
Steph put
feel
it down,
like-
I'm gonna humble myself a little bit after this. A little humble pie after that shit. Damn.
I mean,
Fuck,
at the end of the
bro.
day,
Like I feel like
maturity. Go ahead, Tiff.
I was just saying, I feel like where is Will Smith's real friends? Because like I said, this is years of incidents like building up on him, and you're seeing him slowly break down. So even if he acted impulsively, he felt like, you know what? Chris Rock might have been taking shots at them as couples for years, and he just, that one line just drew it for him, and he just got a little fed up. You know what I mean?
And that's
My question to him is, where's his friends? Because clearly, like I said, he's spiraling out, and it's affecting. Because you're worried about the Academy taking away your award. You've been one of the highest paying actors ever. You put yourself out there, doing these performances and these roles. You've nailed it a million times. But because this so-called one Academy, I know it's the big all, it's like the Grammys for musicians and stuff, but they've done protested against it. They did not do it because they don't put shine on Black actors and actresses. You know what I mean? So why does it matter if they take this one word away? Like you know what I'm saying? You shine in so many other levels with certain things, and you're finally, after all these movies that you done, and you did great performances in all of them, you're just now getting it. You know what I mean? When you've been an actor for how long? But now it's taken away of the shine of you finally receiving it because you went and did this little incident. But you defended your wife to what you felt was best. You know what I mean? Especially in the media, but especially in the media, when these situations happen and Black women just get tossed to the side and nothing said. You know what I mean? So he felt he did what's right. He stood up for his wife publicly. Although he might have been wrong in a sense, he could have handled it so many ways. But who are we to tell him how to defend his woman? You know what I mean? That's just my point on it. Like,
I just want to say in response to what you were saying, I know you were saying where's his friends at, but I actually just remember, as you were saying that, I remember when Kevin Hart had a scandal, his friends did the same thing Will's friends did, cracked jokes on him and dragged him through the mud for a little bit over the year of his second cheating scandal. Like, that's what happens with these Black famous actors and actresses. Like, they may have friends,
the real friends will be behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right, that's what I'm talking about,
Who's
Paul.
gonna make a post? Who's gonna say some stuff online
Right.
and make jokes? But yeah, the real friends is who, because at some point,
you got on your team.
Right.
like we said, these red tables, they the ones that keep bringing stuff out. Like, Jada is the one that introduced August into this conversation, and then that's when August said, "Oh wait, nah, that's not how it happened." She was telling, you know what I'm saying? So she, invited him to the conversation, and then, Will wrote the book and said, "We get down like this, and we got." So at some point, somebody got to be like, "Yo, y'all need to shut up." Like, and truth be told, at this point, they can't shut up. But however, Will needs to talk to somebody. Because there's a lot
and
in
not
him.
the public.
Jada is poised. She can roll her eyes and she's, she's gonna talk about it at the table. Will he gotta let it out. He need real
therapy. He really needs,
and we can't lose sight of, like, I forgot who brought it up first, but the mental health of all of this is a lot. This is a lot.
Denzel, Tyler Perry, Bradley Cooper, they all got up and like, yo, bro, it's really good. Like, what happened?
But you think did anybody go check on Chris Rock?
Nah.
That's the thing.
I mean, check that jaw. Like,
you said he was alright.
It's unfortunate.
Nah, I feel like when Tyler Perry went up in there, he went in there with that Medea voice, like, "Hello, are you stupid? Like, are you out your mind?"
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Denzel said what he said after it happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like all that stuff about your highest moment with your devil, like that was post slap. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to, what she said about the true friends. I mean, again, like these Hollywood dudes, I mean, he may call them their friends, and they may have real friendships, who knows, or whatever, but he needs people that really care about him.
With Denzel's statement, it's one of them things where, like, even with the Bible, interpretation can be misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? Like, Denzel not calling Chris Rock the devil, specifically. You know what I'm saying? He's not saying.
He wasn't.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. But some people are taking it, interpreting it as that way. Like, because Chris Rock was gonna try you. No, that's not what he meant.
Tomato.
Like, because the people that are pushing he was right in slapping him is saying, that's what Denzel was telling you. These niggas gonna try you out here. You gotta put hands on. No, that's not what he meant.
Stay away from them dudes.
He wasn't right.
That's the problem with quotes and words and even like I said, the Bible and any kind of inspirational things. The interpretation could be where your mind is at that moment. Yeah, the devil gonna try me. That's why I got these guns. Cause no.
And I do think it was interesting that nobody said what anybody said to Chris Rock. Like, Son's the one who got smacked.
He's
and
the
nobody everybody.
We didn't see any consolation to him.
So,
did anybody check on Chris?
Go rub Will's back and this dude in the back.
It could have happened backstage.
Possibly.
He was on stage.
It definitely happened backstage.
Yeah. Possibly.
It definitely happened backstage, and I think nobody mentioned it. They were even trying to say that Diddy was definitely talking to him also too.
Well,
but
Diddy said they're gonna meet up at the post party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And at the end of the day, everything you just basically been saying, like, we have no idea what transpires behind the scenes, and everyone's just guessing at that point. So
what we do know, and one thing I brought up that I seen a few people mention was security. Will walked up on the stage, slapped that man, walked back to his seat, yelled at that man, was never removed, was never spoken to by security, spoken to by Denzel, Bradley Cooper, you know what I'm saying? But security never. So hold on, dude. At this point now, the Academy is investigating it. They're watching the tape. Which I don't know what is there to investigate. We've all seen it.
I mean,
it's online. Y'all really got to rewind it back and to the left, like you see what it is. He slapped him. So. Like I said, at this point, the DA is seeing if they need to press charges. Chris said he's not filing any charges. But how do y'all feel about, the repercussions to Will? He was allowed to go back to his seat, enjoy the rest of the show, and even accept his award and give his speech. And give a 5-minute long speech with no wrap it up music.
Yeah, I feel they definitely
somebody got slapped.
They definitely should have removed them. But after that, I don't feel like nothing else could happen. Because at the end of the day, like, if Chris Rock want to take the call the cops route, then that's on him. If he said I ain't doing that, because if you're the DA, right, you watch somebody smack someone else. The one who got smacked said, "Nah, I ain't calling the cops." But you gonna be like, "Well, nah, I'm still good." Like,
it happens all the time in Hollywood, especially in Hollywood.
Yeah, it does.
Especially in Hollywood. Yeah, it happens all the time.
So I know it happens, but it's, even when it happens, then it's all dumb every time. So like, regardless of who happens, but it's all stupid. Like, if somebody smacked me and I'd be like, "Nah, I'm cool." You can't tell him you got to do all. I said I'm cool. Let the nigga go home. Like, fuck out of here. But they definitely should have removed them though, because like, you can't be doing that, bro. Like, you can't just walk up on stage and smack niggas and then just go eat.
Jarrell, they moved. They did. Security went up to him. He used the neuralizer platform, the MIB. He went like that real quick. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on TV, so we saw it. They didn't, and everybody forgot what happened. Only for a few seconds. He said, "Yo, mind your business. Let me be here for 5 more minutes." But.
What I was told about the DA pressing charges was the way they look at the law is you don't have to press charges. Same way if someone killed you, you don't have to press charges. A crime happened. We have to take care of a crime. That's how they look at it. So
I think this is great publicity for the Oscars because it's been a snore for a hot minute. You know what I mean? So I think next Oscars, they're gonna see, what's gonna happen. So I think this just juiced the ratings up for next year. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
another comedian to do the same shit.
Does Will Smith get invited back? Do the Smiths come back to the Oscars?
He'll definitely be able to come back. They're gonna shift seats around, but I think they're gonna just have maybe a little bit more security lined up by them staircases real quick.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
And again,
they're gonna treat the Oscars like Love and Hip Hop reunion. Oh Lord.
That goes back to my point of the Oscars being the gold standard. Like, they never needed security because you're amongst your peers, and
they probably
they probably like,
somebody went on stage.
Do Wasn't it the Oscars that ODB went on stage and like that? It wasn't the Grammys because it was a movie joint. I think it was the Oscars.
No, I think that was the Grammys.
It was the Grammys?
I feel like that was the Grammys. When he had the maroon suit on with the squad. Yeah, I think that was the Grammys.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was,
something
something happened at the Oscars before.
And to your point about removing him, I don't think they could remove him at that point.
Why not?
Why not?
They still have that image to uphold. They already knew he was gonna win. You cannot have the winner.
You better take that man out of there and be like, yo, my man, bro.
It ain't gotta be televised, but my man, come in for a minute.
Yeah, but
yo, for real.
So
nah.
Right?
You gotta prove a point. What you talking about? Yo, my man just assaulted somebody on national TV. Like,
again, you remove him.
Right.
It goes back to ratings. You remove him, right? He said, I'm not getting on stage.
Sorry.
He's like, I'm not getting on stage. Then you go up there to present the best Oscar winner of the year, and he's not there.
To the same man that boycotted this show years ago.
Chris Rock present that again.
But again,
make a joke out of it.
Like Tiff said, they just boosted their ratings for next year.
Right.
They removed him.
Yeah, they do that either way because the incident happened. So
if he's not there to accept that award, we already know he's not coming back. If he's not there to accept that award.
He boycotted it before he be back. Let him do another biopic about another character and based on a true story.
He'll be back.
Want to win the award again? That's what he's shown that.
I think the Oscars are just in a tight situation, so they're gonna ride all this wave out. I feel like because one, you can't really ban Will, right? Because Will's one of the top paying artists. They're not really gonna actors. They're not gonna really ban him. And then it's a sticky situation because with the whole movement on trying to give a voice to Black women when they are being attacked and stuff like that. Like if that's why I said I feel like the Oscars is just in a weird spot to kind of do we allow him not to come back or because he stood up for his wife who's a Black woman. You know what I mean? Like it's a tough scenario, especially when the Oscars have been attacked because they're not supporting Black people. So I mean, it's like what do you do? You know what I mean? Like
was that an attack on Black women though?
But I'm just saying, like if he didn't stand up,
I seen a Black man get attacked.
Word.
Well,
I'm over here trying to figure out was it an attack on the Black woman though? Really?
I don't know.
They could play it that way because
What you saying?
This kind of just plays into sensitivity because we know what was said, we know what was done, and everybody has their, opinion about it. But I feel like a lot of times we let our imagination run with us, and it's like it wasn't all that though. What happened was he said, "G.I. Jane, I see you,
right?
I see it," and it I guess it's just.
It's so many ways, but being in the public, you're leaving so many people who feel like they have the right to say something, the right to judge, the right to have an opinion on the scenario when we're all sitting on the couch watching it. We're not even there. You know what I mean?
What about the right to hit someone? Because now we've shown that I can hit someone and still get my award.
No, he's right because there was a lot of comedians doing a whole uproar about this is what they see. When you guys are mentioning security,
are feeling they're under attack.
Yeah, you're mentioning security and things of that nature. Can you imagine comedians who are actually stars, like superstars, and actors, and also stand-up comedians? You're basically saying, "Yo, if you don't like what I tell you, I can just walk up on stage and smack you." And in all reality, what we're forgetting is, yo, you smack me, bro? All right, yes, you're a shot. You have to keep you choose to keep a level of professionalism, or you can choose violence. It's truly up to you at the end of the day. And he chose professionalism and didn't press charges. But we all know once you tell the police, I want to press charges on another Black male, guess what? You have no idea what's gonna happen to this man, superstar.
And that's exactly why I would never have said, like, if Chris Rock would have pressed charges, I'd have been like, that's trash, bro. Like that's why he had the right to if he wanted to, but it's like, that they be ready to eat Will up. As successful as he is, they'd be like, yo, he pressed some charges, let's go. Like they'd have been hyped and ready. I could never do that. No
offense. Not everybody has that. I'm not gonna say you have the street mentality, but people would just be like, yo, some people are not about that life. They're gonna be like, nah, press charges, bro. Press charges on that ass.
Yeah, that's true.
If you know it ain't right, yo, did you just dead ass smack me? First of all, whether he been shot, stabbed, anything, bro. And you got your family there. First and foremost, you gotta explain to your daughters why you getting smacked on national TV, bro. Press charges on his ass. Take his ass out of here. I'm sorry, you just gotta. It's not just you, the man. You're now the representation of your family, Will's side and Chris's side. Chris got kids, and so does Will.
Right.
Yeah.
We acting like it's just these one individual. No, it has a ripple effect.
Well, we
And
saw
I don't know if I'm
Jaden
teaching my
tweeted.
kids. I don't know if I'm teaching my kids to put black men in jail for slapping them. Like I don't know if I'm teaching my kids that either. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Now,
know.
Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand, like he had to give the apology, but his caption when he dressed the one he said they came dressed for.
They chose chaos.
Yeah, like so, you know what I mean. You manifested certain things, but now you want to step back. You want to be, I'm sorry.
That's a good point. So Will, for those that don't know, before the show, Will and Jada was taking selfies and posing, and then the caption of the picture was, "Today we chose chaos," or something like that.
Yeah,
So
like dress for chaos or something like that. Yeah.
some people could say it's premeditated. Like I don't know about that, but like you said, the manifestation of word. That's the time you on chaos. He didn't say violence though. He was smart. He doesn't say violence, but hey, it's still a form of, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, sometimes be careful what
What were you saying about Jaden again? You were saying something about Jaden. What did he post up?
Tweeted, "That's how we roll" or something like that. That's how we do.
That's how we do it.
That's how we do it.
That's how it's done.
Now I don't know
not about that. Like,
how many
you better
fights
stop. You better
Jaden done
stop.
been in or who he
Stop,
put
bro.
hands on, but
he did one Karate Kid movie. Now he's playing like Ralph Macchio or something.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing though. There's not a comedian on this planet that's gonna think twice about doing a Will Smith family joke. It's
you think
yeah,
not? Oh, you
Maybe Dave.
Dave Chappelle.
Maybe
Dave Chappelle about the
Dave
rock
Chappelle.
that joke.
Yeah.
But it depends on the relationship, though. I don't know how close
Right.
they are. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I don't know how. I believe I seen like Will and Dave in pictures, but I don't know about Chris. So I don't know. And Dave is probably better at wording it a certain way that it might come off a little. I see what you did there.
Like, had it been a compliment, like Jade, I love the way you rocking that look. I can't wait to see you in G.I. Jane 2.
Yeah.
Come a little correct.
Which is probably what he was trying
he
to
probably would have smacked him again anyway.
But it was like an ad lib. He was
probably would have
freestyling
smacked
it.
him again.
Yeah.
But can we talk about the part that he said he didn't write that joke?
Well, he did. I didn't think he did. It seemed like a freestyle. Like, again, you bring him there for just like for that his roasting talent. He just goes.
Well, supposedly that joke was written for him. The writers wrote that joke in.
They said they didn't.
When I saw, they said that the writers wrote that one in.
No, they said he didn't write it. The writers said he didn't write it. But you could tell, even after the slap, he had jokes in his mind. He's like, nah, I can't say that.
Them all out.
Nah, I can't say that. He's like, turn around. He gonna turn around, smack me again. Nah, I can't. So he was like, all right, greatest night in television history. Like he had jokes in his head because he's a jokester.
You heard him kind of pull back. He said like he wanted to say something else.
Yeah.
After getting smacked, it's like like if I really wanted to like
even
go
when
in,
Will was walking to him, he was about to say Richard Williams. He was about to make a Richard Williams joke. Like, nah, the Williams sisters here. Hold on, they gonna hit me. Like you can see Chris was like in his mind. He was just froze. Like, nope, can't, nope, yep, nope. West Philly, nope. Fresh, no. Oh, he's Nick slapped me. Oh, nope, can't say that. Greatest night in television history. Like he just was respect. Like he didn't. His mind was like, I got 20 jokes, but nope, I
can't say none of it.
I can't give you none of
I
that.
love Chris Rock, and I just hate that it had to happen to him. Like I just really like him.
I hate that it had to be them in general, both of them. Like
I do
Chris
too.
for Will. Like I hate that it had to be them in this moment. Did we miss anything? Is anything else we needed to touch on? I mean, we touched on like the mental health. We touched on like the history of it all. Like, is any part? I mean, obviously the memes. We spoke on the memes. They've been going. They still going.
I mean, the internet is fast.
The internet has no soul. Anybody can get it. You can't slap the internet.
Nah.
Sorry,
I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, you're trying, but she'll slap you right the fuck back.
It's gonna be a lot of. You're gonna need some powder. It's gonna be a lot of slaps. And you just
right with the
I don't know if y'all.
with the
Pinky out, Paul.
with the pink.
Yo, I said Jada would have been like Pac would have shot him. Like, that's like the
Will.
realest meme I've seen. That shit had me dying.
I'm not impressed.
My message to Will is punch. Stop slapping people. That's why people keep doubting you.
Yeah, that was like,
Punch somebody. It'll never happen again. All the jokes was stop. I'm not advocating violence. Not advocating violence.
Not at all.
However, Pinky, man, like that slap was just. He got this hand like he came through. Like it was just weird, man. It was just weird.
He threw the
Rock
hip
looked at him like, yo, I get a better smack than that when I was in wrestling.
I wonder if
He did walk up there like Wild Wild West though.
I wonder if it would have depended who was up there had he smacked him.
Right.
And that's something I did want to mention because, like I said, we had Ricky Gervais, and what if it was like Bill Burr, like some other dudes that we know that go in.
Well, somebody said The Rock.
If he would have smacked the white man,
Nobody's smacking the Rock. One, we know somebody would have wrote the joke for the Rock. Two,
that's one.
It's the Rock.
The Rock ain't a comedian.
The Rock, but
Babe,
he's funny.
it's the Rock.
He's an entertainer. He's an entertainer though, but he ain't that funny. But that right there, oh man, you ain't smacking the Rock, bro. I'm sorry.
Like yo, Rock, that ain't funny, Rock.
No, I don't think he would have.
Have y'all heard like a lot worse in roasts and stuff like that? Like I've heard.
Yes.
Davidson gets done for his father dying in 9/11.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
just think, they wanted him. They wanted Pete Davidson to be there, and they was afraid that Kanye was gonna come. Who thought Will Smith was gonna be the one to choose chaos? Like,
right.
I said it this morning. I was like, you could have woke me up and told me a Hollywood star got up and smacked a comedian live on TV. I'd have been like, Pete Davidson and Kanye, let's go. I'd put my life on it. I'd put my life on that.
That's what they thought. Like because originally they wanted Pete Davidson to be one of the hosts, and then they was like against it. They was like, nah, cause then we gotta watch out for Kanye, and you know,
they ain't want the smoke.
They ain't know Will Smith was gonna be the one. They ain't know. But I think we good on that. Like I said, the conversation continues. Shout out to everybody listening, watching. Thank y'all for,
Thanks for having me.
we all gave our opinions. Again, none of us are advocating violence. We all want peace, especially with people we love. We love Will. We love Chris. We love Jada. Like as much as the joke's gonna fly, everybody gotta just understand the joke's gonna fly. But at the end of the day, the more you put out there of your life, the more you make your life accessible to commentary, whether it be jokes or just straight criticism, opinions, and so on and so forth. Like me putting this, podcast and my channel and 2020vision.com out there, I open myself up to people saying, do it this way, do it that way, do it like this, do it better. You got to be able to accept that. When you're putting your whole relationship and your family and all of that in a book, on a weekly podcast and all of that, it's gonna happen. Like it's you are opening that door. So any opinion that someone has, you got to understand, the accountability.
You gotta eat that.
The accountability is on you for even bringing that out there. As far as Chris and the joke about her being bald, we don't know yet if he knows she's suffering from alopecia. You know what I'm saying? We got some bald brothers on the show now. Obviously, it's different for women.
Chill, bro.
It's different for women.
I suffer from that, man. Don't let me smack you up.
Join us, Fenny. Just join us.
But again, look, Steph told us that she went through it for a brief moment. You know what I'm saying? So again, you opened yourself up to that. Thank you for sharing that with us. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's something that happens. People go through it. You know what I'm saying? And again, it might sound insensitive to say it's not life-threatening, but
it's an insecurity that was put out there. Right. And also, Jada Pinkett Smith is an absolutely beautiful, wears her bald head gorgeously.
Absolutely.
I know there's a lot of people out there that appreciate her vulnerability. I don't got the face for it. I'm not that pretty. So
stop.
Just don't got the head to be bald.
That's why I'll keep the hats on. You know what I mean?
You know what I was thinking?
Once again,
you know what I was thinking real quick?
What?
You know who would have said that, even knowing that she had the alopecia, but he's not a comedian?
Who?
50. If 50 was presenting, he would have said that knowing her condition. And then I would have loved to see if Will Smith would have smacked 50 Cent.
Absolutely, he would have not.
No.
He would have. First of all, he would have smacked him. He would have smacked him, and then 50 would have put him on power. What are we talking?
They can't afford Will Smith on no power, bro.
Stars might though. Stars might.
They don't have the budget, bro. They don't have the budget.
For like a 5 minute.
They're gonna do a movie together.
Thank you guys, Tiff, Finny, Rel, Steph, Lou. Thank y'all. Shout out to everybody listening, everybody watching. Like I said, we got the apology. So I always say the conversation continues. I'm tired of talking about Will and Jada. I don't really want to talk about them no more.
We get a new episode every season, bro.
I feel like they always find a way to pop back up in the conversation, but you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this conversation does not continue. At least maybe we'll get a picture of Will and Chris maybe hugging it out or something, some kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? Something. You know what I'm
boxing,
saying?
in a boxing
Will,
ring,
close your fist. You played Ali in a movie.
Listen,
Like-
paper beats rock, bro.
No violence. No violence.
No violence. However, close the
Pinky
door.
up.
He said, however.
Pinky up.
Later, y'all.
Pinky up.
Peace out, y'all.